prior to Prepaid Legal, we had our own retail jewelry business, and last month we made a little over $12,000.
I spent the past 20 years in the United States Army. I retired from the Army. I'm a former helicopter pilot with the Army. I can honestly say that the $1,800 check that I get from the military every month, well, with prepaid this last month, I made nearly $12,000 after 10 months in the business.
Prior to Prepaid Legal, corporate America had us for 19 and a half years, and I can simply say this one thing. Our worst day in prepaid will never equal our best day in corporate America, because I think back, our best month so far to date has been right at $12,000 in 1 month, and in 19 and a half years, corporate America could never offer that.
My background was in the seminar promotions industry, and had, like most other business owners, all the liability, all the overhead, all the employees. Last month, in Prepaid Legal, with no overhead, no liability, no employees, made over $12,000.
Before Prepaid Legal, I was actually a route salesman and making $400 a week. This month already, we've made close to $12,000.
Prior to this wonderful company, I've been here for a year. I worked as a flight attendant with an airline back in Phoenix, and I have to tell you, when I started with the airline, I started out making $13,000 and some odd dollars a year. And what I can say is this company has given me freedom of time to spend time with my 3- and 5-year-old, and I make in a month what I made in a year with the airline. So thank you, Prepaid Legal.
My background is from the country club business. I ran a 54-hole country club down in South Florida for the last 11 years. I've been involved in Prepaid Legal about 48 months, of which 39 months were part-time, and thank God the last 9 months are full-time. I should have done that sooner. I've made over about $13,000 is my best month. However, this month already, as of last night, we're over $11,000. So this is going to be the best month so far, and this is by far and away the best business decision I've ever made.
Last month, we just completed 13 months in the business. Before that, I spent almost all my life as a sales manager, general manager in corporate America. And I'll tell you what, if they could have found me this job before, if I could have found this, it would have made me the happiest 60-year-old in the world. But I grant you, between August the 1st and the 15th of last month, we made $15,774.
Hello, my name is Mike Humes. I have a background as a disgruntled letter carrier. Mr. Antonio Ade actually used to be my supervisor. Last month we were able to buy a dream home with this opportunity. I've since been able to retire myself from my job and made over $12,000 and having a great time.
We've been with Prepaid Legal now 3 months. Last month we did $20,000 and we're excited.
We have a franchising background. We own a chain of franchises and we're franchisors, and there's two things about this. There's a lot more money here. We made about $20,000 last month, and it's a lot more fun.
Prior to Prepaid Legal, make a long story very short, about 10 years ago I lost about $1 million in a very bad business deal I got myself into in real estate investing. And 4 years ago when I took a look at Prepaid Legal, it was just an absolute no-brainer for the $249 to come on board and last month make $20,000, and boy, it's just the beginning.
I am so thankful for Prepaid Legal and what it means to us, because where else can you go? Last month we made $29,364.21.
The first year we were school teachers, collectively we made $8,400. The first week of this month, we exceeded that figure. We are absolutely thrilled.
My background prior to Prepaid has been corporate America and small business ownership. And our first year with the company, we're on track to earn well over $300,000.
And we're flat out excited about being a part of Prepaid Legal. It took us 90 days to be able to match my income as a full-time mortgage banker to fire that dirty word called job. And I'm proud to say last month we did well over $12,000.
I'm very, very excited because Prepaid has literally exploded within the last month, and in the last 30 days I've received $38,000 of income.
Before Prepaid Legal, I was a bad actor, and my wife Kim was an advertising executive with Fox, and frankly, a couple years ago I was bankrupt. And today my wife's at home with the baby and looking to try and buy a $500,000 home, and that's because of Prepaid Legal.
I'm Michael Dorsey from Atlanta, Georgia. Before Prepaid Legal, I had a landscape company coming out of college, which is just a fancy way of saying that I mowed lawns so I didn't have to work for somebody else. When I found Prepaid Legal, it's just an incredible opportunity, but last month we made a little over $36,000. The first week of this month, we made a little over $17,000, so it's really a fairy tale.
I'm Brian Carruthers from the Maryland area. Before getting involved in prepaid, I was actually in real estate full-time. I've been involved with the company for less than a year now. All I can tell you is this: my first week of the month, I did a little over $16,400 for the week. I'm on track right now to I'm probably going to close in about $40,000 for the month.
Before Prepaid Legal, we both worked at a retail store. I was a manager. She was my cashier, right? And it's funny because I used to make around $40,000 a year as a manager there at that store, at that retail store. And last month we went on our anniversary trip to Cancun. And that week we made more than we used to make in a month at that retail store.
Before Prepaid Legal, I used to work for a large insurance company. And last year, Ruth and I averaged over $1,000 a day with our Prepaid Legal business. And that includes Saturdays and Sundays and holidays.
3.5 years ago, our background wasn't very exciting. We were living with our sister. She had a house. We were living upstairs, sharing a bedroom. We actually shared a Geo Metro that we drove around. And we had faith, though. We knew that in network marketing, if you hit a company with momentum, amazing things can happen. So my brother Mike, who proves that anybody can do this business, why don't you share how much?
Yeah. And this is my brother Steve Mealy, forgot to introduce himself. But last few months have been incredible. We were averaging, hovering around $20,000 a month. We saw it go to $25,000 in June, a little over $30,000 in July. Last 30 days pushing $40,000, and we're happy to be here and very, very grateful.
27 years in corporate America and got downsized 3.5 years ago, and when I lost my job I realized that there was no residual income because they stopped paying me. And I was scared, didn't know what to do, and I got in with Prepaid Legal and started part-time, and by my third month was making over $4,000 a month part-time. And then I decided to go full-time, and 6 months later was earning over $10,000 a month. 6 months later went over $20,000 a month. 6 months later went over $30,000 a month before I'd been in 2 years, and last week made over $10,000 for the week.
I made more in my first 3 years than I made in 18 years in the printing business. And that's what the income can do for you. And in this past August, last month, I made well over $45,000 in this business from somebody that really shouldn't be able to make that kind of money.
Although we owned the Prepaid Legal service for almost 14 years, a good friend of mine basically stopped by and said, you know, you better take another look, and I did. And that look provided our first year in Prepaid Legal to over a six-figure income, our second year in Prepaid Legal to over $250,000, and our third year in Prepaid Legal we earned over $1 million a year and haven't done that bad since.